The COVID-19 pandemic has created the largest disruption on educational system in human history, which affected nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 200 countries. Social distancing and restrictive movement policies have significantly disturbed traditional education practices and forced school to adopt a new normal and enforce alternative educational systems and assessment strategies, which is online learning through video conferences, which in return impacted students in a bad way. We have invited a student who is affected by this problem, a student who lost motivation, hope, and inspiration in the aspect of education. Let us all listen as he tells us how all of this is unfolded.
My name is ADDUvocacy. I'm 19 years old and I'm on my first year here in ADDUvocacy University. My course is BS Computer Engineering.
When did you start losing interest or motivation in education?
I started losing my motivation midway through the first semester. So yeah.
What do you think are the reasons behind you losing interest or motivation in education?
I guess just the amount of assignments and the lack of rest or break that we are getting, especially as first years. It is hard for us to cope up.
What occurred in your life that made you realize that you were losing interest or motivation?
It's just one day I realized that I needed time for myself, and I needed time to think if what I'm studying right now, what course I'm taking right now is, the one for me. So, I just feel like I still need time to think whether I should continue or I should drop out and take time for myself.
What are the positive and negative impacts of choosing your decision?
I guess it will help, or it will help me, it will give me time for myself, especially for mental health. It does give me time for myself to think what I should do in the future. But the negative side is that you'll overcome a lot of overthinking and stressful moments. That's for the negative effects.
What is your message to the people that suffer or are suffering the same problem that you did?
I say find time for yourself, especially as teenagers or high school students and college students. You should find time for yourself. This goes for mental health as well. So, all aspects of health. It could be mental, emotional, or whatever. Time management is also important, especially during these times where most of the time we will get lazy. So you need time management. Set up a schedule for your daily life.
Ali is one of the many students who suffer from this kind of problem. It is very saddening, yes, but don't you worry. We have invited someone who is a professional in the educational field, and she has given us her input about this issue.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Miss Christine Joy Migalbin Simagala. I am 32 years old and I am currently a teacher at the Department of Education. I am a licensed teacher and also a registered guidance counselor. But in DepEd, I am hired as teacher 2.
So, the first question is, what are your initial thoughts about this problem?
Okay. So, as for the question, so it is always in our culture that studying or going to school is part of the usual path of an individual. So most of us, if not all, we are all expected to go to school, learn, have a degree, and have a stable job. Ito yung usual natin na pattern expected of us. Mag-aral kang mabuti para magkaroon ka ng para makapagtapos ka and then have a degree. And then, pag meron kang degree, eventually you will land a stable job. So, ito yung usual natin na pattern. I can agree to it that education is important for us to have a better and brighter future. And that's why it is disheartening to know that some youths have lost interest in learning and is yung pagtatapos ng pag-aaral medyo nawawala na sa kanilang interest or parang yung iba parang hindi na yung usual track or usual pattern ng career path ang tinatahak nila, but it's the other way around because the things have changed, maybe because also the things also in our environment or in our society is also changing.
So what do you think are the reasons why this kind of problem is happening?
I know all of you are aware that the things have changed, no? Specifically now that we are living in the new normal, ang daming mga nangyari, ang daming hindi natin inaasahan. So, many factors can be taken into consideration. But for me, I will be enumerating few reasons for me bakit nawawala ang interest ng mga kabataan sa pag-aaral. Okay, first, maybe because of the hobbies turned to vices. Meron kasi tayong hobbies, it's always good to have hobbies kasi ito yung nagpapawala ng nagpapawala ng pagod, it makes us vital in life ba, kumbaga. Ito yung mga bagay na nagbibigay ng kasiyahan sa atin. So, it's okay to have hobbies. Normal yon. Even kami, we do have hobbies. We go out, we go hiking, we go biking. Even the youths, how much more that they love to socialize. However, if these hobbies can be turned into vices, doon na nagkakaproblema. Or nawawala, parang yung kumbaga nawawala na ng time management na yung supposed to be time intended for other things nagagamit na into these hobbies. So another reason would be that I have seen is self-esteem. Okay? So low self-esteem can be a factor also. Others don't want to be with people, are not confident enough to be in school, socialize, and mingle. So usually, yun yung mga tao na ayoko kasi I don't want to be with people, I don't want other people ask me questions, I don't want people na yun, tagdon ko or whatever. So yung mga ganon. Or ayaw nang napapahiya kasi kaya yun, ayaw nang napapahiya, hindi na ako gusto na other people will call me things like this or mga ganyan. Okay, so self-esteem can be a factor. And then another factor would be poverty, of course, no? Economic status of the family generally because diba since they can't afford to go to school or others hindi nabibigay ng parents or ng guardians nila ang needs nila sa pag-aaral or yung iba pag may mga kailangan bayaran sa school hindi na ibibigay kaagad, so yung iba they tend to be discouraged and then parang nawawala na ng gana mag-aral kasi ay kung saon man ninako di man gyapon ko makauban sa field trip, di man gyapon ko makabayad for internship and all those things because my parents can't afford. And then another factor could be bullying. Bullying can be in a lot of ways. May it be social bullying, verbal bullying, psychological bullying, or physical bullying. Bullying, it doesn't end in the classmates or in the schoolmates. Bullying can also be can be experienced also with a teacher. The teachers, the school administrators, or people in the academe. Okay? So yung iba, merong terror na teacher, na insulto, natakot na bumalik sa pag-aaral. Or because I've tried and then someone criticized me, so yun, nawawala ng interest. Next factor or cause, and also very important for me, is the parental involvement. Okay? The involvement of parents in the academic pursuit of their children is very important. Parents, wingon lang na they provide for your needs financially, but them being present, them being there for you while you struggle, them being with you in times of difficulties and troubles plays a very big factor in whatever things that a student is undergoing. May it be in his learning, may it be in his or her development. Napakalaking bagay ang presensya ng mga magulang sa buhay ng mga estudyante or ng kanilang mga anak. Lalong-lalo na sa panahon na ngayon na all of us are adjusting, specifically the students, because students, the youths are, ito yung mga nasa paaralan pa, di ba? May it be in high school, senior high school, or even in college. So these age brackets are very socially inclined, di ba? Lahat, even kayo, you have been limited with proximity. Hindi na kayo nakakapag-meet na sa mga classmates ninyo and all those things. So all of this psychological and emotional struggles, emotional changes that the students are experiencing, that the children are experiencing, dapat nandoon ang parents or ang guardians to guide, to give advices, to give support sa mga estudyante.
So, Mom, what do you propose the parents do when they encounter this problem?
Okay. Again, as what I've mentioned earlier, parental involvement is very important and is also very crucial in these stages of life of their children. So, pinaka-importanting bagay na dapat i-ano ng mga magulang ibigay or i-practice with their adolescent children or their youth in the house is communication. Communication is very important because it is through communication that you are able to convey the emotions and also cite the reasons why nawawala ng interest ang anak ko, bakit, ano ang mga reasons niya, what are the possible factors, ano ang pwede kong gawin. Because as what I have observed, the youths of today hindi na masyadong open sa parents nila because they tend to open up with their peers or their friends and even their teachers. Pero sa parents nila, they find it awkward, they find it OA, they find it difficult to open up. Pag ang parents, they practice this open communication with their children, hindi nahihiya or hindi natatakot yung anak nila mag-open up sa kanila. So ang tendency, the children can convey their message to their parents and then si parents nabibigyan ng action kung ano ang problema ng anak. But communication also should be proper. Dili pwede na i-tolerate lang din ang anak. Okay? Again, it should be proper. It should be in accordance to what is the picture all about. For example, you should know both sides of the story. Ganon. Okay? Communication is very important, my dear parents, because it is the only avenue that you can know. And then, as much as possible, let us practice this as early as when your students are or your children are still in grade school. Kasi kapag naanad ang mga anak nato to have open communication with us, the tendency is nagiging common or nagiging usual na sa kanila ang mag-share at mag-open up sa inyo. Okay? So that's it.
So, what is your message to the students who suffered or are currently suffering this problem?
Okay. Remember that education is essential for youth in creating opportunities for yourself. No, education may not be a way for you to get rich. Education may not give you the things or the world, but it may give you a brighter future only if ikaw din you will work hard for the things set mo for yourself. It is essential because it will open many doors. It will open many doors of opportunities for all of you. No, your doors are much more wider and mas marami compared to those people na hindi nakapagtapos. No? Kasi though marami din ang hindi nakapagtapos who became successful, who became millionaires. But hindi lahat. Lucky for those na ganon ang pathing ng life. But for us, na hindi natin, because the future is uncertain. So we have to prepare ourselves for the future. No, kinahanglan nato i-equip ang atong kaugalingon as early as now because we do not know what will happen in the future. Huh? So it may not give you a kanang kwartahan kayo nga life, but it can give you opportunities that may lead you to the life that you wanted. Okay? Although having a degree is not a guarantee for you to have a bright future, it is one ticket for you to have the things that you want to achieve for yourself.
The situation worsens every day as the pandemic continues, and that is why we should take this problem seriously, as many students suffer from this problem. If you encounter people who suffer from this, try and help them. Just be there for them, listen to what they are saying, be supportive of their decisions, and lastly, be understanding.